Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad, Baruch Shem Kavod, Melchuto, Leolam Vayed. Torah Puppets!
Sin gets in?
Romans 5:12 says that when Adam sinned, sin entered the world. Adam's sin brought death, so death spread to everyone, for everyone sinned.
Sin gets in.
Hello, boys and girls. Once again, this is your roving rabbit reporter with a really bad French accent. Here we go. Here to welcome you to Torah Puppets. As we have learned in past episodes, Yahweh created the heavens and the earth and declared them and everything in them good. He had created a perfect world. But wait, if the world was declared good by our Elohim, then why would we need to follow him by faith, or emunah, through temptation, trouble, and uncertainty? Why do we need to put on the full armor of God that Rabbi Trail recently spoke of and stand in faith? Why do we even need to walk in Torah at all?
Yeah, why?
Why indeed? Well, as we begin another wonderful episode of Torah Puppets, it seems that a certain baby would like to know as well. So, here we go!
Well, why all the boo-hooing, boo-hoo?
Oh, grateful dude, it's terrible, terrible. Why does it have to be so bad? Why? Oh, terrible, so terrible.
Whoa, Dudette, what? What's so terrible and bad?
The world. Grateful dude, there is so much sin in the world. Sin messes up everything real bad.
There is a lot of sin in the world. You got that right, baby boo-hoo. But calm yourself down and talk to the old dude.
Okay. I'm sorry, grateful dude.
Nothing to be sorry about. Sin is a sad, sad thing. I wish more people would get that upset about sin being in the world.
Well, I sure am. I just don't get it.
Get what, boo-hoo?
Well, Yahweh created the earth, right?
Oh, most righteously right, boo-hoo Dudette.
And he made it perfect, right? And he planted a beautiful garden on the earth and put people in it. It was paradise, right?
Shaw.
So what happened? Why did sin get in?
Oh, that is a very good question, my weepy pink friend. Oh, that is like an Ask Rabbi Trail question.
Howdy, y'all. My name's Clementine, and it's time for Ask Rabbi Trail.
Whoa. Oh, no. I just said it's like an Ask Rabbi Trail question. But I got this one.
Oops, sorry, y'all.
No problem. So, dude, you know the answer to the question?
Shaw, sin got in at the garden.
The garden? You mean the garden? The one in Eden?
For sure.
Okay, so sin got in at the garden, but my question was how? How did sin get in to the garden? And how did such a perfect place get so messed up?
Whoa, well, boo-hoo-dette, to answer that question, I totally think it's time to go back to the beginning.
Take me out to the ball game.
Grandpa Gus.
Dude, not a big inning. Back to the beginning. Back to Bereshith.
Bereshith, the big huggy bear.
Sure. Why not, boo-hoo-dette? Barry?
Thank you, grateful dude. I would love to take you all back to Bereshith, back to the garden, back to how sin got in and messed with all the love.
Mess with all the love?
Baby, you know, boys and girls, The Bible tells us that God is love. He loves you all more than you could ever imagine. That is why Yahweh created the world in the first place. That is why he created man in the first place.
God said, "Let us make humankind in our image, in the likeness of ourselves, and let them rule over the fish in the sea, the birds in the air, the animals, and over all the earth, and over every crawling creature that crawls on the earth." So God created humankind in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them. God blessed them. God said to them, "Be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea, the birds in the air, and every living creature that crawls on the earth." Then God said, "Here, throughout the whole earth, I am giving you as food every seed-bearing plant and every tree with seed-bearing fruit. And to every wild animal, bird in the air, and creatures crawling on the earth, in which there is a living soul, I am giving as food every kind of green plant." And that is how it was. God saw everything that he had made, and indeed it was very good. So there was evening, and there was morning, a sixth day. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, along with everything in them.
Wow, it is like Ask Rabbi Trail.
Totally. So, people are special because they are made in God's own image?
For sure, BooHoo.
So, who was this special man? Did he have a name?
Well, let's get back to Barry's sheet and check it out.
Thank you again, grateful dude. The man he created was given the Hebrew name Adam. The word Adam is made up of an aleph.
Mary was willing and obedient to do God's will, and so she became with child, a special child. Yep, 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 yep. There was one little problem, though. Mary was engaged to a very good man named Joseph, or Joseph. He wasn't too happy to find out that his wife-to-be was having a baby. Nope, 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 nope. So Gabriel appeared to Joseph in a dream.
The Dalet.
Don't say it, Gustafson. Don't even think it. Grr.
And the Mem. Aleph, Dalet, Mem. Adam. He was called Adam because the name means man. God made the man from the dust of the earth.
Wait a minute. Man is made from dirt?
That's right. God made man from the dust of the earth. Then he breathed life into the man, Adam, his special creation that he loved. God took Adam and placed him in a special garden that God himself had planted. That garden was in Eden. And because Adam was special to God, and the garden was a special place, God gave Adam the very important job of gardening and guarding the garden.
Gardening and guarding the garden? Why would he need to guard the garden?
The garden in Eden was a very special place. God had planted it so there would be a place where he could get together with Adam and walk and talk with him in the cool of the evening. You see, boys and girls, Yahweh loves you and wants to spend very special time with you. He wants to walk with you and talk with you. He wants to plant a special place in your heart just for him. And you are to guard your heart, just like Adam was to guard the garden. And Yahweh wants you to keep your heart a place filled with his word, so your relationship with him can grow. That was Yahweh's Torah for Adam, to take care of their special garden.
Wow! Yahweh gave Adam a special garden for them to spend special time together.
Shaw, a special garden with a special tree in the middle of it.
A special tree?
For sure, the tree of life.
The tree of life? Hey, that sounds like the Torah. It is a tree of life to those who grasp hold of it.
Most righteously right, baby BooHoo. Another reason that he needed to guard the garden. He needed to keep the tree of life, just like God's people today need to keep the Torah.
So that's what it means to keep the Torah. It means to guard it and tend to it.
Again, most righteously right, baby BooHoo.
So Adam must have had some pretty awesome fruit to eat.
Indeed he did. He could eat the fruit from every tree in the garden, except for one.
Whoa, what tree was that?
The tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
The tree of the knowledge of good and evil?
The tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
That's right, dude and baby. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Yahweh commanded the man, "You may freely eat from every tree in the garden, except the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. You are not to eat from it, because on the day that you eat from it, it will become certain that you will die."
Whoa, die? Why?
'Cause Yahweh wants his people to walk in his ways, which are life, a tree of life. His people should trust in him with all their hearts and not rely on their own understanding.
I don't get it.
Let me see. Well, it's like your mom telling you not to touch a hot stove. You should trust that she knows what's best for you, that she knows what she's talking about, and you should obey her rather than trying to find out for yourself why she would tell you that.
Oh, I have been through that with my mom. I touched the stove anyway.
Oh no, BooHoo. And you got burned?
Yeah, I cried for a long time.
Totally heinous.
So, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil sounds like bad news. What was it doing in the garden in the first place?
Well, that is a good question. Barry?
I would love to answer that question, baby and dude. But first, I believe teacher extraordinaire, Miss Winifred Ninny, has an idea about how it happened.
Thank you, Mr. Bear. All right, class. Pay attention. Yeshua taught his disciples a parable about wheat and tares. Tares are weeds that look exactly like wheat. In fact, the only way to know which is wheat and which is a tare is when the wheat matures and starts producing fruit.
That's good to know.
Please do not interrupt the lesson. Yeshua taught that his kingdom was like a farmer who sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, the farmer's enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way.
Whoa, gnarly.
Do not interrupt the lesson. Pay attention. But when the wheat had sprouted and produced a crop, then the tares also appeared. So the servants of the farmer came and said to him, "Sir, did you not sow good seed in your field? How did we end up with these tares?" The farmer said to them, "An enemy has done this." The servant said to him, "Do you want us then to go and pull them up?" But he said, "No, leave them there so that you don't pull up the good wheat by accident. Let both grow together until the harvest. And at that time, the harvest, I will say to the reapers, first, gather up all the bad tares, but then put them in bundles, and burn them. But gather the wheat into my barn." And that is what they did. Mr. Bear?
Barry. Thank you, Miss Ninny. You see, baby, dude, Boys and girls, as Miss Ninny pointed out, the farmer's enemy sneaked in while men slept, not the farmer. It seems that these men who were sleeping were supposed to be guarding the garden.
Just like Adam was supposed to guard the garden in Eden, maybe Adam was sleeping on the job.
Whoa.
So, an enemy may have sneaked in and planted that bad old tree of knowledge of good and evil. Probably the devil.
Sure, but I imagine that Yahweh left it there for very good reasons, just like the farmer in the parable.
Adam probably could have used a helper.
Yahweh felt the same way. He put Adam into a deep sleep, removed a rib, and formed a woman from his rib.
Why was she made from Adam's rib?
The woman was made from the rib of man, not from his head to rule over him, nor from his feet to be trampled by him, but from his rib to be at his side, his equal, near his heart to be loved by him, under his arm to be protected by him. And she had gorgeous hair, I guarantee.
Debbie Bream and Miss Ninny are in this episode? Wait, Debbie Bream and Miss Ninny. That gives me an idea.
One day, the woman was in the garden, and the serpent questioned her about God's command.
Wait a minute. The serpent? I know about that mean, nasty old serpent. I knew it. I knew that the devil had sneaked into that garden.
Totally heinous.
The Torah does say in Bereshit that the serpent was more crafty than any wild animal which Yahweh had made. He may have been clever, but he had the mind of the enemy. And the devil likes nothing better than to twist God's words around. He said to the woman, "Did God really say you are not to eat from any tree in the garden?" And that's when the trouble went down. The woman answered the serpent, "We may eat from the fruit of the trees of the garden, but about the fruit of the tree in the middle of the garden, God said, you are neither to eat from it nor touch it, or you will die." Now, boys and girls, the tree she was talking about was, of course, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The serpent said to the woman, "It is not true that you will surely die, because God knows that on the day you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil."
Don't do it, the woman. That serpent is a big fat liar.
Oh, you are so right, baby. But the woman saw that the tree was producing food, and that food did look pretty yummy. And the serpent did say that if she ate it, she would be like God. And being like God is a good thing, right? Ah, baby, there is a way that seems right to a man or woman, but in the end, it leads to death. The trap was set.
Goodness! Teaching these lessons really tires me out. I need a seat. What is on my chair? Oh, it's a snake. Ah! It's a snake! A snake! There's a snake on my chair! Wait a minute! Are you kidding me? It's not real. Apparently, somebody has decided to play a rather juvenile prank on me. Just like one played on me by a 5th grader a long time ago. Wait. I know who did this. And that person is in real trouble.
So the woman took some of the fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil and ate. She also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate.
Adam was there? He knew what was going on? He was supposed to guard the garden and the woman.
Dude blew it, man.
And that's how sin got in.
That is how sin got in. But it didn't have to stay there. There was one more chance.
One more chance? So what happened next?
Well, baby, after they ate the fruit, the Bible says that the eyes of both of them were opened, and they realized that they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves together to try and cover themselves. Then they heard the voice of Yahweh.
Oh, she is going to be so scared. And she is never going to guess who...
Gustafson, Phineas Gustafson.
Uh-oh!
They heard the voice of Yahweh God walking in the garden in the cool of the evening. So the man and his wife hid themselves from his presence.
Robbie, quick, hide me.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why do I need to hide you, Gus?
No reason.
Gus?
Gustafson.
Robbie.
What did you do?
I may have played a little trick on Miss Ninny.
Gus?
So you need to hide me.
I'm not going to do that, Gus.
But...
You need to face Miss Ninny and make things right.
Gustafson.
Later.
But...
Yahweh called to the man, "Where are you?" And Adam answered, "I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, so I hid myself." Yahweh replied, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree from which I ordered you not to eat?" Now here is where Adam could have fixed things by just owning up and repenting. But instead, he refused to take responsibility and played the blame game. Adam blamed the woman, and the woman blamed the serpent. And so, sin got in. When Adam sinned, sin entered the world. Adam's sin brought death. So death spread to everyone, for everyone sinned.
But...
Gustafson, Phineas Gustafson.
Hey, Miss Ninny.
Gustafson, I know it was you who put that rubber snake on my chair.
Debbie Ream made me do it.
Debbie Ream made you do it.
Well, she dared me to do it.
A grown-up, Debbie Ream, dared you to play a childish prank on me today.
Well, maybe not quite today.
Gustafson.
Fine. Back in 5th grade she dared me. So it's not my fault, really.
Gustafson, that was back in 5th grade. So no one really made you do it today, did they?
No. The devil made me do it?
Gustafson.
Okay. It was all my idea. I did it, Miss Ninny. I'm sorry.
I will forgive you.
You forgive me?
Yes, Gustafson. There will still be consequences for what you did.
Consequences?
Yes, young man. You're coming with me.
Yep, Adam sinned, and there were consequences. God said to the serpent, "Because you have done this, you are cursed more than all livestock and wild animals. You will crawl on your belly and eat dust as long as you live. I will put hatred between you and the woman, and between your descendant and her descendant. He will bruise your head, and you will bruise his heel. The woman, who is now to be known as Havah, or Eve, would have great pain in childbirth, now that she was to be the mother of all the living. And to Adam, Yahweh said, because you listened to what your wife said, and ate from the tree about which I gave you the order, you are not to eat from it, the ground is cursed on your account. You will work hard to eat from it as long as you live. It will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat field plants. You will eat bread by the sweat of your forehead till you return to the ground, for you were taken out of it. You are dust, and you will return to dust.
Well, that is totally sad.
The worst one, though, is Adam's sin, bringing sin into the world. The good news for them is that God forgave them, but he couldn't let them go near the tree of life now. If they ate from it, they would live eternally in their sin. So Yahweh drove Adam and Eve out of the garden and set up angels with flaming swords to keep them from getting back in. And that's how it happened back in Bereshit.
Terrible, terrible. Sin got in. Is there any hope?
Shaw, boo-hoo. Remember when Yahweh said to the serpent, devil dude, I will put hatred between you and the woman, and between your descendant and her descendant. He will bruise your head, and you will bruise his heel.
Yeah?
That was the gospel, dudette.
The gospel?
Yahweh was talking about Messiah Yeshua and his death on the cross to save Adam's descendants from their sins.
So, a savior was on the way?
Shaw.
Sweet.
Totally.
Wow, boys and girls. Adam sinned, and when Adam sinned, sin entered the world. Adam's sin brought death, so death spread to everyone, for everyone sinned. And what exactly was Adam's sin and everyone's sin? Why, not following Yahweh's Torah, of course. But also, of course, God made a way to restore Adam's descendants to the tree of life. He promised a Savior. Stay tuned to Torah Puppets, boys and girls. Sin may have entered the world, but so did Yahweh's salvation. This is your roving rabbit reporter with a really bad French accent. Here we go. Here I go. Bye for now.
God so loved the world. Shalom.